Hey, so what have I done with my positions? All sorts of things. Anyway, yeah, I'll get into that in a second. This won't be a long one. I feel like a lot of the starting content, let's say the anchor content, the things, was going to be a little longer once I hit my groove here and learn how to kind of get things done in a quicker way and spread it out in videos. I think it'll be a lot easier to watch. So if you're watching this video and you've seen some of the long ones and you're still with me, thanks a lot. So anyway, a lot of this news started to hit. I think it was earlier today or even last night I saw some reports of this. So in spite of them explaining that they spent a bunch of money and it still failed, it still had a pretty good surge today. So let me jump into what I'm saying in this post. I'm not your technical analysis guy. I'm not your formations guy. This did look like kind of a bull flag at some point the last day or so, and it did somewhat break out. I know it's Luna, so like a 30% or a 40% move just isn't enough, but I have sold some of the positions that I had this morning. I still have a holding. What I'm doing now is kind of experimenting with this. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just like spot trading. So I sold 5 million Luna so I could remember the number, and I do have a bunch of limit orders. So if this thing really falls, I mean, we're talking about falls like gets back down to this little box at the bottom, which is where exponential gains can happen. We're talking about 5 zeros in front of the number. We have 3 right now, and also into the 6 and 7 zeros if you can't even hit it. So I've got some limit orders to catch this if it does fall. And honestly, that might be a little stupid, but I'm gonna roll with it. Excuse me, because if it really goes down this time, there's a chance that that's it. And I'm not trying to spread, FUD and all that. I'm just saying that, like, if they come out and say for sure they're doing this fork and that, these coins are going to be worthless as of like next week, then it's going to be a race to the bottom. I'm still kind of holding out to see, hey, is that going to happen? Are they going to be able to keep this one somehow and it be like a penny stock version? Are they going to say they're going to do the fork and not do the fork, and then this one actually does go up and we see these crazy gains? You got to remember that this little green box down here where you see the pink, that was where a lot of the buys were at on Thursday that caused 200-300x gains at some point in this journey up. So it's not like we haven't already had gains, but if they crash this thing back down, I'm not saying it's on purpose, but if they say, hey, this coin's basically going to be worthless, it's going to crash because we're going to do the fork. If the language, listen to the language, if they say we're probably going to do the fork, and I don't know what even an absolute is in this market, but if it's any way open-ended and it crashes, I'm buying, because what if they abandon that plan and all the crash is to secure positions for big money down here? So when it does go up, all the people like me have already sold. Big money buys it all up, and they just got what they wanted. The whole point of the fork was to reward, and I'm not saying it's all big money, it's, normal holders, but I'm saying was to restore value to those that lost a bunch of money in Luna and in the UST. And I get that, I can sympathize with that, but if they do it, it kind of abandons the idea of anybody that got positions down here. So what I've been doing is selling at different price points yesterday and today, and I sold 5 million Luna. So this, you can call it a spot trade, but it's not to really make money, it's just to increase my position, and I'm sure it could backfire. Hell, I think it's backfiring right now, but it wasn't to do in the course of, let's say, 10 minutes or an hour. So I sold 5 million Luna for $944, I'm sure, after fees. It wasn't the best deal, but I did a market order instead of limit because it wasn't catching. So right now, if I want to buy the 5 million back, I got to spend $998. So it's going in the opposite direction. But what I was looking at is if we are in kind of an overall downtrend here, I'm thinking at some point I'll be able to buy these 5 million Luna back for less than $944. And again, it's not to make money. Maybe it goes down 15 or 20% and I can buy 6 million. So this is just like a playful way of, messing around and adding to a bag that may be worthless. Another thing I will mention that's interesting right now, and I'm sure it's on other exchanges, so if you're on VMAX or Bybit or Binance or any of the others, this is KuCoin, let me know what's going on. Right now in the futures, this is just a little futures account that I haven't used since all this happened, because and by the way, when I'm doing futures, I do look for opportunities in altcoins, but I'll probably go more back into Ethereum and Bitcoin. But just for the hell of it, I looked at this today, and I know that some of the coins used to be capped at 20, but some you can use 100, which I wouldn't recommend. But anyway, I had it at 2x earlier, and I was like, okay, let's do some long or short, whatever I was trying to do. And it only lets you, like, if you really want to do a little bit more, like let's say I want to do $1,000, I can't even do it because the limit is 1 million Luna. So that's $100. So I can only trade $100, and I'm not going to go over 2x anyway with this, but isn't that a little silly? I know it's probably tied to everything that's going on. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying it's kind of funny, because even if you want to gamble your money away, you can't even do it. And I'm not trying to say that $100 isn't a big trade. We all start somewhere. When I started, I was chasing percentage gains, not monetary gains, because if you could dial in something that works for you, and you can make 5% or 2% or 1% on a trade, I know you're going to laugh at me, all those people out there, the guys that are posting, and I'm not hating, I love it, in Discord and different communities, 50x leverage, 25x leverage, 100x leverage. So there's a time and a place for that, for entertainment and maybe even a little gambling. But for your day in and day out trading, 5-10x is still pretty risky. But what I'm trying to say, so I'm not trying to shit on a $100 trade weight here, but if I'm using 2x at $100 and I make 10%, so I'm in the market with a $200 trade and I make 10%, meaning it moves 10%, which in any other coin would be hard to catch, but with Luna maybe. 10% at $200, I make $20. So they're not making it very appealing to trade. And I understand with $1,300 in this account, it might not seem like much, but this account is for the challenge that I set out to do last week, and then might have to update, because I don't even know if I want to allocate any of the gains that I had with Luna into this, because it wasn't technically futures trading. It was more spot trading and then once in a lifetime exponential gains. So coulda, shoulda, woulda bought more, but grateful for what I have. But at some point I'm going to look at the numbers again and resume a trading challenge. And originally it was going to be 5k to 100k, which seems more doable to me because it's 20x. Then I was like, okay, after feedback, it'd be more appealing if you could start with $1,000. But then I wasn't really thinking, and I still had my head on the 100k mark, and that change alone made it from taking your money 20x to 100x. So it'd be kind of hard to do in a time that would be somewhat entertaining. So we might do a revision here. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but just having a little fun. Tell me what you're up to.